What's up, guys? Welcome back to Axiom. So most people think that authenticity is emotional honesty. They think it means exposing themselves. They think it means telling the world what they feel in the moment, but that was never the truth of it. Authenticity is not emotional transparency. Authenticity is structural clarity. Part 1 gave you the opening shape. Part 2 takes you deeper into the mechanics, because authenticity is not how you feel. Authenticity is how legible you are. The world can only multiply what it can read. Part 1 is authenticity as interpretability. Authenticity is not a performance of sincerity. It's the reduction of a contradiction. You are not misunderstood because people are blind. You're misunderstood because the signals that you broadcast cancel each other out. Your words move one way when your actions move another. Your values move one way and your choices move another. The real cost is not your personality. The real cost is the cognitive load required to decode you. Once again, the real cost is not because of or your personality. The real cost is the cognitive load required to decode you. And here's the truth most people never hear. People are not rejecting you. They're rejecting the processing cost of trying to make sense of you. Once you understand that, the path becomes clean. A vector has 3 components: direction, magnitude, and coherence. Direction is what you pursue. Magnitude is the force behind that pursuit. Coherence is the stability of that force over time. Most people only work on magnitude. They try to be more impressive, more visible, more intense. But magnitude without direction is chaos, and direction without coherence is noise. Multipliers attach only when all 3 align. When your direction is clear enough that others can predict your future shape, when your magnitude has focus, and when your coherence removes contradiction. Say this slowly. People do not attach value to who you are. They attach value to where you are going. Coherence is the rarest signal in the modern world. Coherence means that your external behavior matches your internal logic. It means your choices follow your values. It means your identity does not oscillate with validation or mood. This is rare because most people live inside emotional weather. They shift direction each time they feel pressure. They redefine themselves to avoid discomfort. They contradict themselves without noticing it. Coherence is the opposite of drift. Coherence is the opposite of confusion. When someone sees that you don't drift, their mind relaxes. They finally know what to expect. Prediction creates trust. Trust creates scale. This is where multipliers begin. Authenticity as non-contradiction. Authenticity is not about revealing yourself. It is about removing contradictions inside yourself. You're not invisible because you're quiet. You're invisible because your contradictions blur your vector. Once again, you're not invisible because you're quiet. You're invisible because your contradictions blur your vector. You are not ignored because people dislike you. You are ignored because they cannot map you. They don't know where you're at. Humans navigate through patterns. If your identity is unstable, then you become unreadable and incoherent with their life. If you're unreadable, you become non-viable for investment. And here is the empowerment. People don't need you to be perfect. They need you to be non-contradictory. That alone creates clarity. People do not follow intelligence for its own sake. They do not follow confidence for its own sake. They do not follow charm for its own sake. These traits are static, and vectors are kinetic. We follow motion. We follow direction. We follow internal stability that projects a future shape. When your vector is stable, you become a reference point. You become a coordinate system that others can navigate around. You become the foundation of leadership. You become one who has the foundation of leadership, influence, attraction, and reputation. This is not performance and it's not theatrics. It's definitely not emotional displays. It's just stable direction over time. Multipliers attach to predictability, not to exposure. You can be visible every day and still be unreadable. You can speak often and still fail to communicate. You can express yourself loudly and still be processed as noise. Volume never creates value. Clarity does. If the world multiplies the identity, it can forecast. If you cannot forecast yourself, then others cannot invest in you. Authenticity becomes a vector multiplier only when your internal direction is stable enough to be predicted. This is the shift that changes careers and relationships and entire social trajectories. Authenticity is a cost reduction system. End steady, controlled, precise. Authenticity lowers the friction of engaging with you. Lower friction leads to higher trust. Higher trust leads to compounding effects. Authenticity is simplicity. Authenticity is structural alignment. Authenticity is the removal of internal interference. When you stop contradicting yourself, people stop hesitating around you. They stop guessing. They stop scanning for hidden inconsistency, which is a pattern of people's brains naturally. They stop treating you as a variable, and you become clear, you become readable, and you become low cost to understand. And low cost identities scale faster than high cost ones. Close clean. When you become legible, your life stops feeling random. People can finally see your vector, and once they see it, they amplify it. That is the axiom.